Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the film Brewster's Millions, which is an American film produced in 1945. The film talks about a fellow called Montague Brewster in 1944 who has recently fought for the American Army in World War II. So he was discharged and returned home with the intention of marrying his girlfriend, Peggy. However, he is caught by surprise by the fact that an uncle of him left him an inheritance of $80 million. However, to be entitled to receive the inheritance, he was supposed to spend $1 million out of this amount until his next birthday, which would be exactly in 2 months. At first, he finds this idea too crazy, especially because he couldn't tell anyone what he was trying to do, but he reluctantly agrees. And then he starts a financial company, and he hired 2 of his World War II Army buddies to take care of the company. And then he tries to think about many schemes to lose money. However, he accidentally got lots of profits, even though his intention was to lose money. To make things worse, everyone around him thought that he was crazy, especially because during the war he hurt his head. So people thought that he got crazy because of the wound he had in World War II. And his girlfriend, Peggy, she started to be very jealous because he spent too much time with a socialite and then with a showgirl. Even though Brewster didn't have an affair with any of them, Peggy started to be jealous and also thought that he was going crazy. And then Peggy started to ask him what was going on, but Brewster couldn't say, and Peggy ended up breaking up with him. Another problem he was having with Peggy is that they were supposed to get married as soon as he was discharged from the army. And Brewster kept postponing the marriage because he couldn't spend the money with anything related to marriage. So he was supposed to spend $1 million with other things, and he couldn't tell neither Peggy nor anyone. And then, after he didn't get to spend so much money, he tried to fund a play in Broadway, which was a play that seemed very bad, with bad actors and bad crew. However, the play started to be a little bit successful, and when the play was really a failure, his 2 World War II Army friends thought he was crazy and started to sabotage his schemes to lose money. So they simply interrupt the play, and the play didn't happen anymore. So after this another failed attempt to spend $1 million, Brewster decided to rent a yacht and take all the cast of the failed Broadway play, so they would make this play in many countries, in many places inside the United States, then in the Caribbean. So he had to spend money by renting the yacht, paying the actors, and so on. And it seemed that things would be easy, but no, they were actually difficult. His World War II Army friends got really angry with Brewster. They locked him in one of the bedrooms of the yacht and tried to prevent him from spending even more money. And Brewster couldn't tell then why he was spending so much money. However, the yacht had an accident, and then Brewster got to run away from the bedroom where he was locked. And then he got to order an employee to radio and ask for help. And then he got to find a ship from Brazil that would happen. But he was supposed to pay a fee of $450,000, which is a gigantic fee. But he paid that, and then he got only with this fact to spend almost half of the money. And then he started spending money with even more things. And then in the day of his birthday, which would be October 13th, 2 months later, he finally got to spend all the money. At least this is what Brewster thought. However, his friends, who were still thinking that he was crazy, they tried everything to recover the money he had spent. And they recovered $40,012. And Brewster had to get rid of this money until midday. So he paid $40,000 as a fee to the executor of the inheritance, an old debt of $10, and $2 to the cab driver. And then finally, in the last minute, in the last second, he got to spend $1 million. He showed the receipts to the executor of the inheritance, and then he could tell everyone what was going on, and then he finally inherited the money. Right after that, he went away with Peggy and told her that they would go to the nearest justice of peace so they could finally get married. However, in the end of the film, there was a very funny scene because his uncle wanted him to spend $1 million before getting the inheritance, so Brewster would be so sick and tired of spending money that the rest of the fortune wouldn't be wasted. And then when Brewster and Peggy were leaving home, he found a door-to-door vendor who wanted to sell something to him, which was 2 cents, only 2 cents more expensive than it was in the story. Then Brewster threw the door-to-door vendor out. So we could see that Brewster really learned his lesson, that he was sick and tired of wasting money and that he wouldn't waste his fortune. It's a very interesting movie. The plot never gets old. Even though it's shown a World War II soldier and all the 1940s vibe, the plot still feels very fresh. It develops in a nice way. Of course, it's unrealistic, but it's a comedy. It's not supposed to be realistic. So the pace is very relaxing and funny. And I think you are really going to enjoy this film. I recommend that. The clothes, the furniture, they are very beautiful. I really loved the houses in this film. And it's nice to compare how life was back then with nowadays. $1 million in 1940s was something even more valuable than it is nowadays. So that's all for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you!